Hi guys. Anybody around? Irina, who is plus 7 hours, 2 a.m. Nice, my moderator's on. Anybody else? Huh? Yeah, you like it. Yeah, it's cool. It's short too. It's cropped. Hi guys. You know what? I'm not collaborating with any brands or any companies, or I didn't look into that because that wasn't the purpose of me doing this account. But when I find like some cool products or clothes that you guys compliment me on, I don't mind telling you where it's from, and if you want to get them, feel free. If I collab with them, I will tell them. But right now I'm not. But I want to show you some of the stuff and the products I use. A lot of you guys are asking me on fashion and skincare, so I don't mind sharing that. Not on the live, but we'll figure out a way. Maybe on the Facebook group, we'll see. How are you guys doing tonight? Oh my God, we had so many success stories. I usually give everybody a minute to get on the live, so we'll give them another 30 seconds before I start. Hi, Carla. Good to see everyone. People are serious about the work. Very, very serious. I'm gonna put my hoodie on. I think it looks good too. Hi, Sandra. How are we doing? Okay, guys, I was looking through some notes that I made when I started doing this lives. And remember, I talked about a 4-step process to get anything. And I don't know if anybody, because we have so many new people. So I don't know if anybody remembers, but it was claim, declare, praise, and say thank you. And those are steps that you must know, right? Like that's what I employ. That's what I suggest people employ. But at the beginning of when I started this group, I talked a lot more about it. Then I kind of think that everybody's a regular and they know it already, but that's not the case. So I just want to make sure that you guys are doing it that way with objects, okay, not with people. So this would be like you see a car on the road that you want, you first claim it as in this is what I like this, I see myself with this, okay? Then you declare it, so you're going to declare by a certain date you will have a car just like that. So by March 2024 I will be driving this car. And then you're going to praise it. Praising it is visualizing, saying, and feeling it in your heart. So it's those 3 centers that we talked about. So you're going to see yourself driving it, every detail from the inside, which means you Googled it or you saw it somewhere, or, you want to see it at a dealership. So you see it very clearly. You see your hands on the steering wheel. You say, oh, I love driving my new Mercedes. And then you feel it in your heart. So that's how you do it. And then at the end, you say thank you. So this is a 4-step process. If you missed it, this live will be posted on YouTube. I hope everyone's using this process, which I taught months ago as part of our teachings on how to manifest any material object. All right, I'm going to take the hoodie off because that was a lot. I feel like my head is hot now. We had lots of success stories in the 60-day challenge this week. Lots of money success story. We ended the $2,000. I gave everybody a month to manifest $2,000. The stories that were about manifesting that, people who emailed me or posted it in the group, were really sensational. Were really like, what do I mean by that? I mean, the circumstances via which the $2,000 came to the people that got the $2,000 were typical manifestation, in which like it's a way you never could have predicted, could have thought about it. And I really, really liked it. Especially the last story wasn't even somebody in our group. It was somebody who posted the story on my video saying she saved this video and she intended to manifest it. And the way it came to her is 2 weeks later, her boss said, oh, when we gave you that paid promotion, we missed giving you the paid promotion from the beginning or something like that. And here's a check for you. And it was $2,000, $2,018. And then she continues on and says, the funny thing is I did get my first paycheck after my promotion letter was increased immediately. So I don't know what he's talking about, but I took the money. I loved it. I loved it. You just never know where it comes from. So after that, we had other money success stories. Somebody posted like extra 400 euros, I think it was, extra something else, extra. Everybody's like having small lottery wins, things like that. That's very typical in our group. So I'm happy for everybody. By the way, the $2,000, it doesn't mean that just because you haven't manifested it by October 14th, you won't manifest it. Set the intention now again that it is coming to you, and I'm pretty sure we're going to have some more success stories, but you really can't think about the how because you don't know the how. If you know the how, then you haven't manifested it. Facebook group. Guys, thank you for joining the Facebook group, the new people who have joined. Please don't add me as a friend on Facebook. I have too much of my personal life on Facebook. I created this group for just the people who are working with me, the 60-day challenge, or people who just want to know more. I monitor every post, so read the group rules, and the postings are all about encouraging others along the journey and reading others, being inspired by others, reading others' stories. We have a dream pin as well for the people who are interested in dreams and how to use dreams to sort of understand their limiting beliefs and what comes up with this work. A lot of our limiting beliefs come up in dreams, but please don't add me as a friend. Okay, this week's manifestation. A few people got it already. So I have two of them. The first one is a big black dog. And the second one, which everybody should manifest. And the second one is just some new serendipitous work event, professional event, career event. Could be a new client if you have your own business, something good happening for your business, something good happening in your job, in promotion. You're recognized for something, you're sent somewhere for a course or something like that by your company, something you didn't expect it. So as soon as you manifest that, please leave a comment in the Facebook group on the pin, or email me directly, mona.cod@yahoo.com. A few people asked what my email address is. It's very public, so I look forward to this manifestation stories and whatever else you guys want to send me, that's success stories. The 3-digit code, some new members asked me how to use the 3-digit code to talk to the universe. I posted the video on the Facebook group. The video is available publicly on my TikTok, but I'm not really sure where it's at. I think this was about 2 months ago that I put it out, maybe 3 months ago. So it might be like way more towards the middle of my page. But I posted it in the Facebook group for everybody. So that's great. All right, so guys, join us. If I don't know who's on this live, but if you don't know our group, join us. If you're tired of your life being a series of random events, stop having in your mind just a series of random thoughts and start looking for ways to organize your thoughts. And just, you must think the way you want to think in order to bring forth what you want to bring forth, right? And that takes effort. It takes a lot of effort. Reality will try to distract you every step of the way. Okay, because the reality that wants to manifest is the reality that takes the least amount of energy. That's the rule for reality. And the least amount of energy is for you to wake up and have the same thoughts as you did yesterday and live the same life as you lived yesterday. Okay, I love the books you're recommending. I'm reading Anatomy of the Spirit currently. That one's very good. And it's very good for all these issues that, people have since childhood: rejection, abandonment, traumas. It's really good in reframing. Like each one is broken down like that. I read this book maybe like 10 years ago, and then I read it again maybe like 6-7 years ago, and I really like this book. It's simple. It's simple to read. So I'm glad if you're reading it. The link is available in my bio in terms of what books I recommend. What would be the reasons behind unsuccessful manifesting? Your limiting beliefs. Or simply if your expectation is very far from alignment with your current identity. Those two things. The book name was Anatomy of the Spirit, but Carla, go to my link, and in there I have a link that's called Books and Products I Recommend, and it's listed there. Something unusual happened today. A chapter made me think of my dad, and he called me today. Invite many unusual things to happen to you. You guys have to realize something about this manifestation. What do you call it? Law of assumption, law of attraction, all these laws. There is as real as the law of gravity. Okay? And what people, one other reason people don't manifest is really because we don't want to leave behind the comfort of our current existence, right? Whether our current existence is good or bad, there's a comfort in knowing what comes next. The unexpected is always scary, right? Because we as humans were always trained to be scared of the unexpected. The unexpected, thousands of years ago was very dangerous. So if you cling to this comfort of your own life, right? It's like if you stand on top of a building, okay, and you know how the law of gravity works. If you're sitting in the same spot, the law of gravity will not work on you. And in order for the law of gravity to work on you, you have to step off the building, right? Like it takes that much risk. It takes the risk of leaving behind the comfort of the spot that you have on top of the building. And what people do when they start on this journey, instead of stepping off, they start to jump up and down, right? And jumping up and down on top of a building, you feel the force of gravity a little bit, right? And maybe in your jumping up and down, you move from your existing spot a little bit, but you're not going to experience the large benefits that these law can confer you if you really do it with an element of risk, with really inviting the unexpected. And you got to jump first and the net will appear. The net will not appear. You can peer at the bottom of the building and wait for the net forever, for the rest of your life. It's not going to appear. You have to jump first. You have to trust the law. You have to have the expectation. Every time you do something on your day-to-day life, this is how you practice this. Every time you do something, have an expectation as to how that segment of your life is going to unfold. So for example, you wake up in the morning and you go to work, okay? While you drive at work, or even before you get in the car, have the expectation of how the drive is going to go. Before you step through the doors of your office, have the expectation that this is going to be a great day. Just say it out loud. It's going to be a great day. I'm going to leave here with my energy intact and feeling a sense of accomplishment, even if you hate your job currently, right? This should be the expectation from your day to day. Rather than setting this long-term expectations, practice on the daily segments of your life. Every new segment is an opportunity for you to project your intention and to get a different result than you did yesterday. Okay? Live your life with intention that way. With intention. Yeah, segment intended. Intend the way, the day you... Expectation is fate. That's all I can tell you. Right? And you have to have faith in order to unfold anything, right? Because if you don't trust that this is how it's going to work, or if you don't trust that you're in control, or if you don't trust that the universe is benevolent and is on your side, if you don't have this faith, then you're going to attract whatever it is. That means you have the opposite faith. That means you believe that the odds are stacked against you. You believe that you're powerless. You're just a speck of dust in a very unfriendly universe. You believe like whatever they teach you in school, really, the materialism 101, that is very detrimental to both your self-esteem and to your ability to shape life the way you want to shape it, right? It takes a lot of effort to make it in 3D. Better and funner to use energy to live a new life every day. Yeah, correct. Who's currently using segment intending or projecting the expectation? Segment intending sounds too fancy. I like to just say project the expectation as to how you want this part of your day to go. I projected the expectation for a free coffee today. I got it. This happens to me a lot. I was at Starbucks and I put my order through. And when I got to the window, they're like, "Oh, did you order the speaker?" And I said, "Yeah, of course." And they're like, "We didn't get your order. I'm sorry. And what did you want?" I said, "Oh, I want, tall black coffee." And they gave me the coffee. They're like, "Oh, I'm sorry about that. Sorry for the wait. This is on us." I'm like, "Okay." But, you know, because of the group energy and the free coffees, like we keep getting a lot of them. I don't just mean from the people who want to buy me a coffee or send me a coffee. I mean like just randomly, just system errors and things like that. That happens to me all the time. I got a free $100 gift card for waiting for my order the other day. Even better. Let me try that one on myself. Was it a Starbucks? I love that so much. How much did you wait? How long did you wait? Don't tell me an hour. I don't want to wait an hour. It's great. It's great when we have these little success stories. And I told you guys, when you have a success story, you got to milk it. You got to milk it for all it's worth. Okay, you got to be like, this happened because of an abundant thought that I was having. You have to associate it back to something, because otherwise it's just a random event and you can't rely on your ability. Everything good that happens in your life, you have to make an association back to a good thought you were having, a similar thought you were having, in order to strengthen your brain connection with this thing that you think good thoughts and good things happen. 20 minutes. Oh, it's a nice restaurant. Okay. 20 minutes you were waiting. Yeah, that's not bad. $100 gift card is not bad for a 20-minute wait at a restaurant. Someone was having bad luck on Friday the 13th. See, the fact that you're saying you're having bad luck on Friday the 13th makes me think you associate Friday the 13th with a strong possibility of having bad luck. Right? The new guy called luck in Turkish. I don't know what to make of that. You're having a lot of him, like what's going on? No, but seriously, the Friday the 13th, all these numbers, all this, you can forget about it. You can forget about it. Don't associate, don't go down that, you know, because then you wake up with the expectation it's going to go bad. Friday the 13th, I didn't even make that association. I don't like to think about this superstitious things. I understand the universe a bit differently and more in detail than what I present necessarily in my content, but very few things scare me, and it doesn't work that way. Like, your intention is king. Please believe me when I say this. The only two things we don't control in this life is the time we are born and the time we die. That's it. The rest is under your control. What do I think about eclipses? I don't think too much about it. The only reason I use new moon ritual is because it was passed on to me from my grandmother. But other than that, I don't look into astrology too much, or really at all now. I added gold hoops and gold chains to my Amazon cart. 5 minutes later, my friend gave me the exact same thing. Very nice. Let's see, what did I miss something? Okay. I'm going to move on to reading a testimonial that I really liked. Somebody put this in the Facebook group. I'm so grateful that I'm in this group doing the 60-day challenge. I'm on day 7 and I'm feeling great. The first thing that I notice is my high level of energy, even though I work a lot. I work on myself for many years and I have results, but this challenge is so unique, and Mona's teachings contributed so much to me in just 1 week's time. I feel massive change in me, and that started to show in my 3D. People help me. They want to be with me. A lot more creativity is coming to me. My husband is so gentle with me, gives me attention, started to buy me gifts. Everything works out. Thank you and God bless you. Well, here's the thing, and this is where I always say the effectuating of the small inner changes, which are cumulative, okay? Cumulative is a key word. They pile on top of each other, get bigger. They gain momentum like a snowball. The accumulation of the small little things. My husband treats me better. I'm more creative. I have an idea about something. This at the same time is building your self-confidence. Okay. So it's not like the next day you wake up and you have, the Porsche or whatever it is that you put on your manifestation goal. But each day you are closer to believing that you can, because the truth is most people, when they get in this game, they think it's like magic. Oh, I'm going to write down 3 times, 6 times, 9 times, and then it's going to happen to me on day 7th during the eclipse, Friday the 13th. It's not none of this. And it's nothing to do this. What's going on here? Is my moderator on? Let's see. Guys, this is a live about manifestation mindset. setting intentions, our own personal lives, and how we can be better every day. All right, 1 second. Somebody says, I have a question regarding the daily spreadsheet affirmations and my SP. I'm on day 4. I want to manifest SP or better. Do I write generic things regarding my ideal relationship, or do I say things like my ideal partner or my SP or men always find me? Where do I place my focus? Thank you for any guidance. So guys, in regards to the entries that you place when you want your SP or better, and I really like this thing, I want my SP or better, which really means you want better. Whether you want your SP to act better or you want a better man, please understand you are already saying you no longer want your SP, the SP in his current form. This has to be clear to you when you're starting this work, because if your SP was what you wanted, you wouldn't be doing this work. Right? What you want is better. Better from him or better in general. So be very, very clear on this better. And what I always say, focus on the experience that you want to have with men. Do not focus on the men themselves. Do never focus on John Smith does this, he does this, right? No, all men are completely mesmerized by me. I easily meet men who are protectors and providers. There's something about me that makes men easily fall in love with me. I'm constantly being told that I'm, insert whatever words you want here, stunning, hypnotic, mesmerizing. Do this kind of things that have to do with you and the experience that you want to attract in your dating life if you're single. Okay? I want my husband, but the best version of him. Yeah. So if you're already married, your SP has to be, it has to be the same SP, but you're manifesting a better version of him. So your affirmations, in this case would be like, I wake up, and do not use his name, right? My husband always holds me in his embrace. I feel like when my husband's around me, I feel so safe and protected. My husband's so generous with me. He always thinks of me first. He always prioritizes me. He always thinks, what is it in his day that he can do to make my life better? My husband always puts me first. Things like this would be your affirmations if your SP is already your husband. Are we clear on that with men and affirmations? Because the affirmations really have to tailor to the experiences you want in life. It really has to do not with changing people, not even to change circumstances. Circumstances will change automatically when you focus on the experience that you want. Please give us advice on why we see so many angels numbers every day, all day, but nothing happens yet. Watch my video on the 3-digit code and do not pay attention to any numbers. We do not know if those numbers are angel numbers. We do not know. That's just something somebody said on the internet 20 years ago, and we've been following that, right? Nobody actually met an angel who said my number is 222. What I want you to do is to understand the structure of the world as the creator, formless substance, which is the substance that's alive, intelligent. It's called the universe. It's referred to as the all-knowing, all-doing, all-seeing substance. That's not the same as the creator, okay? And then there's you. And you have a right to access this formless substance and to bring forth whatever you want. All you have to do is understand how to communicate with it. So stop being passive and waiting to 222 444 555, okay? And tell the universe, I want to speak to you, you infinite intelligence, okay? This is how I'm going to speak to you. I am going to say, this is my number, 376. And every time I see 376, it means you're saying yes to my question. Okay, so watch the 3-digit code video because in there I explain how to set it initially. And after that, you're going to see it all the time. I saw my number twice today. I had a question. And at first I saw it out of order. My number is 468. So first I saw 864 or 846, and I was like, okay, so the answer is no. And later it was clarified. It was like 468. How to be the highest energy in your life and no one can influence me. I would need a bit more details around that. Do you feel overwhelmed by other people's energy, or do you feel like people are interfering in your life? What is the real question? Sandra, the 3-digit code was a video on TikTok, but I posted it on Facebook as well. Just tonight, because somebody asked me about it. What is the fastest way to get rid of limiting beliefs? You have to know what they are. The fastest way is to identify them. You might think you know what they are, but I bet you don't know all the subtext of it. So this is where the work is. Undoing it is easy. We use a series of affirmations, a series of contemplation, meditation, insistence, consistently changing, being in that new state. But how can I know what state to be in if I don't know what state is holding me back right now? So identifying these limiting beliefs is so important. People who are usually doing the work with me, they have dreams that are very meaningful as to their limiting beliefs. And our dream pin in the Facebook group is full of this. Oh my God, I never even realized that this was holding me back. You can't remember your dreams. You must aim to remember your dreams. You must do practices. I don't get into that because it's, I don't want to do content all over the place, but there's many resources in books and on the internet on how to remember dreams, how to use lucid dreaming, there's techniques, right? You wake up in the middle of the night. Sometimes you set an alarm at certain hours in the night and be like, okay, if your alarm beeps at 3 a.m., wake up. What did you dream in that second, right? So don't always expect people usually wake up, they look at their phone, then they think about what they dreamt. Are these teachings similar to ontological coaching? What is that? I never heard of that. I'm going to write it down. Ontological. We learn something new every day. My teachings are inspired by what I read that vibrated with my being, the downloads that I get in my mind, the results that I've had personally, the refinement of results, right? So it's not enough to get one thing, right? You have to get one thing on a consistent basis, or you have to constantly refine your ask and your results. And then, of course, the results that other people get in my group. And sort of I assess, or people who work with me, and I assess what works, what doesn't. And you'd be surprised, there's some common themes, but generally every situation is different. Of course, every person has different limiting beliefs, different self-identity. So you have to go through a series of trial and error as to which coaching, which techniques work better for you. And please understand, you must have results within the first few months in order for something to be considered it's working. So the law of assumption does not work for most people. The law of assumption is great and it works for anyone who can make the assumption, but most people can't. They can't, or even if they can't hold it. They can't sustain it because 3D is just so overwhelming, right? 3D didn't used to be so overwhelming in the past. We didn't used to be so connected and seeing everything that goes on in the world. Think about, my mother at the end of the day, she didn't see images of a war that's going on in a different part of the world necessarily, right? So she was focused on her own life and her own dreams and her own, but we're not like that anymore. We're like, let me check, what is this person doing? What is everyone who's doing good on social media looks like they're doing much better than us. We're in this constant competition. We don't have time to create. We just compare and compete. Okay, or we worry about the tragedies of the world. That's what happens. So, this is why the law of assumption, I find that people, by the time they get to my account, they've already tried it. If it doesn't work for you within the first 3 to 6 months, whatever technique you're doing, you must drop it. It's not for you, or it's blocked by something, by your limiting beliefs. You got to do more detailed work. Go through my playlist, depending what your interest is. I have even a playlist of things you didn't know and things that aren't commonly discussed, and just see if anything there resonates with you. What is the best book you have read? I have to think about this one. because I found such different information in every book that I have read. James Allen, who was a poet and a writer, I think he was born in the late 1800s, but in any event, one of the originator of these thoughts, he wrote a book that's called Man is Mind, or something like this. Man is the master, mind is the master. The poem is, let's see if I remember it. Mind is the master that molds and makes, and man is mind, and evermore he takes the tool of thought, and shaping what he wills brings forth 1,000 joys, 1,000 wills. He thinks in secrets, and it comes to pass. Environment is but his looking glass. This is like deep, right? Especially the last part. He thinks in secret, and it comes to pass. Environment is but his looking glass. Thoughts can never be kept secret. If you want to see your thoughts, if you want to see anyone's past thoughts, look around at their life. Their lives will tell you what their past thoughts have been. And unfortunately, their past thoughts probably have nothing to do with them. They were probably instilled in them, okay? Thoughts of poverty, thoughts of unworthiness, instilled in them. But anyways, the book question, I recommend people start with easier books. And when you first start on this journey, anything by Bob Proctor to start. He's very like layman's terms. He recently passed away, but he was a wonderful coach indeed. This spoke very plainly, very, very, but deep. So I want you to Google Bob Proctor. Most of the books are available on YouTube as audiobooks for free, especially if they were written by guys who are long dead, And just start there. Start with my the link in my bio with book recommendations. I'm currently reading Unblocked. It has a ton of EFT scripts, and to be clear, okay. Yeah, I also obviously you guys know I'm a fan of Dr. Joe Dispenza. But by the time I found Dr. Joe, I was already familiar with a lot of his concepts. So I found, for me, he did a lot of thought refinement. Of course, he also has the powers, in my opinion. He doesn't really do it on science. I've met him in person. I even gave him a hug. I just find that the great teachers of our time must have a combination of a natural talent and a strong understanding of various belief systems in order to help more than one person. Because our backgrounds being so different, if all you know is the way you grew up, you really wouldn't be able to relate to other people. You need to have been in the world, and you need to have read many different ways of thinking in order to be able to advise anybody, in my opinion. I like him. I like Eckhart. I don't know why, for some reason, something about him, maybe personally, doesn't really vibrate with me. His teachings are sound, and I recently saw a video of him in which he said, all the manifestation books in the world can be summarized in this one verse in the Bible. And it's whatever it is that you ask, believing that you have received it, you have received it. And he continues on to say, notice how it doesn't say believing that you will receive it, but it says believing that you have received it. Right? So he's a great teacher. I don't know why, for some reason, his presence is not something appealing to me. I keep wanting to do something, randomly get that exact amount of money to do it, but not the $2,000. Yeah, you must remember also that I said a few times, the universe doesn't always understand numbers, and in my opinion, it doesn't understand numbers. So it's good to think that this is why very few people actually manifested the exact $2,000, right? It's around there. It's $2,018, I think it was the last story. But when it does understand numbers and it gives you a specific number, you really must say, hey, universe, you've done this for me, And here's my 3-digit code as a reminder. This is a yes, this manifestation I accept. This is the code. When I communicate with you the code, find a way to associate this as saying, yes, I want this. This was a go. This was absolutely what I wanted. This is exactly what I want. Associated with your code, associated with whatever gratitude practice you have, if you have a specific one where you tell the universe yes. The point is you have to have a check mark where the universe knows you gave it a check mark. And you won't stop what you're requesting until it gets a check mark. Do you think it's possible? You have generational trauma that's passed down. Yeah. It's possible. I don't focus on it, but it's definitely possible. In my opinion, our will and intention can overcome that. This is the concept of karma, right? The problem with thinking it that way is, then what do you do about it, right? If you have this karma because, your family has killed thousands of people, right? What can you in this life do about it but accept the consequences of that? So I don't like that implication. I don't like the implication that we're powerless in the face of the sins of our ancestors. I believe it's possible to pass on some energetic connection, yes, but we also have we must have the right to untie ourselves from them and from the past. That's what I would say about that. And people ask me, what do you think of past lives? What do you think? A lot of people are, I'm doing a regression on past life. How many of you have done regressions on past lives? Guess how many regressions in my past lives I have done? Rachna has done it. You guys think I have done none? You are correct. I'll tell you why I won't do it. I've never do it. Even though I do believe in the concept, and I think we did, because the purpose of consciousness is to evolve itself. You evolve itself through love and pain and having every single experience and passing through the levels, okay? That's how you evolve consciousness. I've never done it because you see, let's say it works, right? First of all, I'm not sure. I think 90% it doesn't work. This regressions, you never actually remember anything. I only know one person who's done it, and she said it was a waste of time. But let's say it works. Let's say it's a good one. You go back in the past. What do you think you're gonna find? Right? What do you think? Think about how human life was before our time, before even 200 years ago. Right? You lived thousands of years ago. Do you imagine what the world smelled like? What the lifespan was? What conditions you lived in? There was no toilets, no electricity. There was, you may have gotten stoned to death. There's nothing good in the past, guys. We live in the best time, especially if you're a woman, especially if you're a woman in the past, right? Think somebody, conquering your village, passing through your house. What do you think you're going to remember? How do you think it died? Died via an act of violence or a terrible disease. And there's no reason to go back. That the point is, you can barely deal with the memories of this life. Isn't that the truth? Right? People are healing childhood traumas, limiting beliefs from their childhood. There's a reason why we're not allowed to remember the previous experiences. Now, you just be like, system overload. System overload. Can you deal with the experiences of this life? And if you're saying, no, it's a lot of pain I haven't processed yet, then you have no business exploring your past lives, in my opinion. You're only going to see pain. Yeah, sometimes I watch these movies from, they're portraying life in the, 1800s, 1700s, how they used to love each other and being so passionate. And I always think those people kissing, they didn't brush their teeth. They didn't even have teeth by the time they were 30, I was they didn't wax, where's all this passion coming from? That's an aside, a funny thought I always had. people in the past. It's a waste of time. It's a trap to stop you from evolving in this life. Yeah, I just don't think you'd find anything good. You know, in this life, you should aim to have good experiences, and to offer the universe, when you go back, a very pleasant experience of this life. I think this is your right, but it's also your responsibility. And there's levels of pain you may need to pass through in order to end up there, based on your limiting beliefs, based on, who knows, karma or whatever that queen said. But it doesn't matter. You have a chance to change it all. All right, I want to get to a bit more of the material here. The queen whose exes steals her manifestation. Are you on, queen? I don't want to say your name, but there's this queen in our Facebook group, and she says, my ex-husband, who's the father of her child, steals her manifestations. So she would, envision the $500 for a group, and he gets it. She was working for a few months manifesting her specific person. And in the same manner, she was envisioning that he got his specific person. So I guess they're in touch. They're like friendly, so she knows about his life. And she's like, that was my manifestation. And today she posts one in which she says, I keep envisioning myself on a beach and doing all these things, being on vacation. And today he let me know he's going to Aruba. And he's never been anywhere out of the country ever. And just now, as I'm envisioning this beach background and everything, he stole this manifestation from me as well. So, I'm sorry, I'm laughing because, I tell you guys all the time, whatever it is you focus on amplifies, right? So right now she's obsessed with this guy stealing her manifestations. And I think it's just, guys, it's obvious that he's gonna keep stealing them until you minimize the importance of what is happening here, right? Yeah, you're giving, at this point, you're just giving it to him. You're giving, because now you said it. He has the ability to steal my manifestation. You made this. Guys, never acknowledge something you don't want. Never acknowledge it. Never, ever acknowledge it. Like, no, this isn't happening. This is not connected. It's not connected at all. It's not part of my reality. It's not. Don't acknowledge it. Okay? If you don't want, but I suspect, it also might be your test. It might be your test, queen, in a sense that it might be a test to go to the next level of consciousness, because you've been doing this work. So the question here is, can you be okay working to create something which there's an infinite supply of, okay? There's an infinite supply of beach vacations of $500. It's not like if he gets it, you won't get it. So are you okay with creating this to give to somebody else? For somebody else to benefit out of your work for free? Okay, are you okay with somebody benefiting off of you for free? And better yet, if it's somebody you don't really like, now you're really being tested, right? So from this test, aim to pass it. Aim to say, close it now with this beach manifestation and just say, you know what? You've gotten 3 of my manifestations and I'm happy for you. If you get more in the future, I don't want to know, and I'm not going to acknowledge you. Speak to him in your head, right? I'm not going to acknowledge it. And I'm just going to focus on my life. And if I can create and there's enough of me, there's enough for you, send some to our group. I'm sending back to our group that I'm part of. Let them all manifest beach vacations. Get it? Because if you are the one that's projecting thoughts and other people can benefit, you should actually see that as a skill that you want to have, right? It's not necessarily power over her. It's just, it may be her test, like I'm saying, right? Is this the hardest thing? It's easy to take something from yourself to give it to somebody you love, right? To give it to your kid, to give it to your sister. It's harder to take something you have and give it to a person you hate. That's a huge test of character and of evolution of consciousness. Just see it that way. And just if he's going to take it anyways, give it to him willingly, Be like, God bless. There's more. There's more for everybody. There's more for every queen in our group. There's just more. There's just no end. The substance is, guys, the So thought is fundamental, and thought in this substance, in the formless substance, creates a signature that brings forth materialization of that thought form in a way or another in your life or in the life of somebody that you have an energetic cord with. But what you have to remember, it's unlimited. It's unlimited. And I wish, I have to do a video on this, but I wish you guys would stop treating the universe like it's a person that's giving you something. So what you're doing, even with this $2,000 manifestation, okay? What you're doing is you're telling the universe, I want $2,000. And then the universe sends you $400. Or I have queens in my group. I got like 200, I got $1,200, but it wasn't $2,000. And then you feel bad about saying, but this isn't what I asked for. You know, you feel bad because you feel like the universe is this person, right? Is this anthropomorphical shape of God that we've been portrayed in our mind, that is this old man who gives you and you have to be grateful. And it doesn't work like this, okay? The formless substance is neutral, right? It's neutral. So you request something until you get it, right? Treat the universe like an ATM when it comes to money. You have to treat the universe like it's an ATM, not like a person. If you come to me and you say, hey, Mona, give me $1,000 and I give you 200, okay? You'd be grateful. You'd be like, okay, yeah, maybe she'd like, I said 1,000, but she gave me 200. And, you know, I guess I got to be grateful for whatever I can get. The universe is the ATM. If you go with your order and your code and your passcode and you know the money's there because you know the supply is infinite and you say, I want $1,000 right now. And the machine, the ATM, spits out $200. What are you going to do? Are you going to take the $200 and be like, well, I guess he gave me something and walk away? No, because you know the ATM is neutral. And if it didn't give you $1,000, it means there's something wrong with it, or it's something wrong with your code, or it's something defective in the system that you can easily fix, right? You go speak to a bank representative. You're like, I punched in 1,000. I know there's money there. Why did I only get 200? That's how you got to treat the universe, right? You're like, what's going on? Well, you like, I said 1,000, okay? Without feeling like, oh man, I need 800 more because I only got, can you just please? It doesn't, it's not, it's an ATM. It's an ATM. Like when you go to the ATM, you don't think, I want to take out 1,000, but I wonder if the machine has 1,000. If it doesn't have 1,000, like you'll ask somebody to put more money in it, no? That's how it works. Sorry, ChatGPT. Stop treating the universe like it's a person that's doing you a favor. It's not a person, and it's not doing you a favor. It's technology that's responding to certain commands that we were no longer taught at some point in our human societal evolution. We were no longer taught on how to use it. And I think this is because it was used to destruct certain things. This is why all the advanced civilizations are gone from Earth, right? Because once you know how to use this thing, who knows what you can do with it, and who knows if your human greed or who knows if you're being a human and having these emotions. If you were given unlimited access, if you were taught how to use everything that you were endowed with, who knows what you would do with it, right? So I think there is a purposeful holdback. I definitely think there's people in this world that don't have this holdback and know how to access it on a more systematic basis. But for the rest of us, we learned some tricks and we know how to use them. And look, if all we get out of this is that we feel more confident and better, and we get, you know, small promotions and small wins and better dates, and our husbands treat us better, then you know what? I don't think it's a waste of time. I don't think it's a waste of time. When is my next Facebook Live? I'll announce it. I can't do one this weekend. I have a function this weekend, so I can't do one. But I aim to do it every couple of weeks, every 2 to 3 weeks, maximum every 3 weeks. My stepkids leech off of me and it angers me so much. I think of it daily and preventing abundance. Help. Well, you said it yourself. You think of it daily and it's preventing abundance. This would need to be more of a practical tip based on understanding your situation, right? Why are you giving them money? Practical tips. Let's talk a little bit about it. So somebody asked about the coffee date. So this queen asked, can you make a video of appropriate and efficient questions to ask on the first coffee date? So if you guys don't know me, I do part of my teachings is with practical life tips on behavior and relationship behavior and, you know, whatever behavior you need to change, maybe at your work. So I like to give this practical tips in life. So I suggested to everyone who's single now, online dating, when you first talk to somebody, do not talk to them for too long, because you form an emotional attachment if you talk to somebody online for long, only to find out and be extremely disappointed when you meet them in person. So I suggest you as the woman, you suggest, hey, this is, you know, I'm enjoying this conversation. I would like to meet for coffee if you're up for it, just to validate our profiles, just to see that we're the people we say we are and we're the same in person. And, you know, if there's a mutual attraction, we can go on a date later on. What do you think about this idea? And I haven't never met a man who said, no, you know, this is a terrible idea. Okay, they're all really excited about it. They're like, okay, so I don't need to financially invest in this. But, you know, from my perspective, I see it as I don't need to invest 3 hours and just to find out the guy is 20 years older than he says he is, right? So this is the question, that the background behind this question. Can you make a video of appropriate and efficient questions to ask on this first coffee date? Here's the thing. I want you to never think of the coffee as the first date. Okay? The coffee is a meeting. You're meeting to validate your online profile. You're meeting to see if he can carry the same conversation via his speech that he can in writing. You're meeting to see if he's just as funny, if he's the age he says he is, if he has manners, if he doesn't smell bad, if he is not too shy around you, if he is the person that you have made him in your head to be. Do you guys know I have people that I've spoken to that they're in love with men they never met, just based on online connection? And I bet you if they met those men in person, things would change drastically. But they're left with this big hole in their hearts, these women, because they have made this man to be into something that I'm sure face to face they are not, right? So meet first very, very soon within your conversation, 2-3 days. You shouldn't be talking to somebody more than 2-3 days before you meet with them in person, because online dating is just a numbers game. Okay, it's a numbers game until you find somebody you want to date. Okay, it's not a numbers dating game. It's a numbers game to meet somebody you want to date. And the way to do that most efficiently and with the least damage to your heart is to go through the numbers and eliminate everybody who's a no really quickly and with very, very small time investment. If you can meet them quickly during your lunch hour from the office, somewhere 10 minutes, a coffee shop from the office, even better. You don't have to invest. You go home and have expectations. You put your makeup on, you go on a date. Guys, don't do that just to find out he doesn't like you, or you've been rejected, or you don't like him. He's way older, he's way heavier than he said he was. You're just not attracted to him. You know you would never touch him. So she's asking me, what's the most efficient questions to ask on this first coffee meetings? Well, number one, please keep in mind that when you go to these meetings, it's just a meeting, and it's just a meeting with another human being. You have no romantic expectation of this meeting. It's a meeting to see, hey, is this person like actually the person that I think I'm talking to? Is this person like really, you know, this tall, this age, this heavy, this has manners, can, you know, doesn't smell, whatever else we talked about, right? Is this the person? And when you go in there, do not just be relaxed, okay? You're not going through a script. It's just a validation meeting. If he likes you, he'll ask you out. And if you liked him back, he will say yes. If you didn't like him back, you'll say no. It's not a problem. If he doesn't like you and he never contacts you again, it's just coffee with another human being, right? I can talk for 20 minutes over coffee with anybody about anything, right? Have some subjects, like anything that don't have like this intrusive questions, right? Don't be like, so why did you get divorced from your first wife? That's not what the coffee meeting is about. You're gonna discuss all that in your first date if you get there. The coffee is for like you know, so sorry, what do you do for a living again? You know, just random, you know, questions. If he has kids or if he's divorced, show me a photo of your kids. Or if he doesn't have kids, are you close with your family? Yeah, I'm really close with my mom and dad. Oh, you have a picture of them. It's always important to see what the guy has on his phone if you can, okay? Because only weirdos do not have any photos of their family, or especially of their children if they have children. Okay, if you can, if the conversation goes there, ask for a photo, but only if it comes in conversation. Just randomly, oh yeah, you have 2 kids, can show me a photo of them. Not can I see a photo, like show me a photo of them, you know, like you're validating he's the person that he said he was. Because what kind of guy who has 2 kids doesn't have a photo of them on somewhere on their phone, right? So this is what this first meeting is all about. Can you feel at ease with this man? Like, do you feel like, do not go in there being like, I gotta ask him A, B, C, and D. It's his job to make you feel at ease. And if he doesn't make you feel at ease, you can't go on a date with him. And that's okay. It's just a numbers game, guys. Just a numbers game. Who's here online dating? Quite a few people in my group are online dating now. They said they have a better experience once they adopted my technique. This is good stuff. Yeah, it's good stuff. It's good for men too. You know, men, I find that men can't really suggest this coffee meeting though. It has to come from the woman. Because when men suggest it, they look cheap or they look like, you know, dime a dozen, they want to go through women, and it has a different connotation to it. When the woman suggests it, it's really like, it's really completely different ball game. Like, I would not go for coffee if a guy said, like, you know, but that's why I jump on like me offering the coffee. Hey, not now, huh? I don't know why I'm speaking in present terms. I don't currently go on coffee dates. Hey babe, are you watching my live? This is past tense, when I used to go on coffee dates. But a lot of girls just want a free dinner. Yeah, this is true. This is true. Not the queens in my group, though. Not, I suggest be part of my group, and you're going to meet a lot of good women, because I tell them that their time that they invest in a man is so much more important than the free meal. And, you know, we don't really need to. We're not that focused on food, you know. So, I don't know why any women would want a free meal unless they actually have nothing to eat, knock on wood. But I don't know, because to me that time investment, like, I remember before I clued myself into the coffee date thing, you know, I sat through a couple of painful 3 hours first dates with men I knew I would never touch, you know. So then I was like, this is ridiculous. I would rather, you know, be at home taking a bath and reading a book in bed. You know, I was thinking about all the other much more pleasant things that, you know, making a conversation with a stranger I know I would never touch. So I don't know, girls, like, you know, value yourself higher. Your time is very valuable. You know, the money he spends on dinner is completely irrelevant because he can make more money, but you cannot get back the 3 hours you invested in him. Yeah. So that's my practical tip around the coffee date. If you guys have more dating questions, you can email me. We can talk more at the end of this lives on mindset about what to do specifically and practically in different situations. But that would be it. So once you get on the first date, okay, because the majority of the queens in my group, they do want a certain type of man who's, sorry guys, don't call me, I don't take calls during my lives. They want, you know, like protector, provider, prioritizer type men. And, you know, when they're ready to admit that, you know, you cannot behave like the man in the relationship if you're the woman. So you have to wait for him to ask you out. And if he doesn't, that's okay. You move on. Block him within, if he hasn't contacted you within 48 hours of meeting him, just block him. Move on. It's a numbers game. That's why if you meet him quickly, you have no expectations, you move on to the next. Never feel obligated to anyone. That's key. And never project that expectation that you're not going to meet your future husband. Just a process you have to go through, okay? You don't wake up tomorrow if you're single with a ring on your finger. It's not going to happen, no matter how hard you're manifesting it. It's not going to happen, okay? The ring is not going to get on your finger if you don't go through the process. Although, you guys remember when I was manifesting a wedding ring, and I found it in the parking lot the next day. So I guess sometimes it does manifest by itself. but that's not what I meant. I still have that ring. I did a video on it. It was just hilarious. I was just envisioning this Tiffany band on my finger, and I found it the next day in the parking lot. I'm like, that's not what I meant. It's not what I meant. All right. So I always refine the ask. Let's put our hands together for the 369. Be active in the Facebook group if you want to. Like, I actually comment on every post. So just be active if you have questions, if you want to share success stories. That's where you'll find me through the weekends. And if not, Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will be back. Let's put our hands together for the 369. I am a winner. This takes about 30 seconds. If you don't want to do it with us, this is the end of the live, and I wish you a beautiful weekend. One breath. I am a winner. 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 I am a winner.